children of the night. What music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brain.
Good evening and welcome to Final Guys. I got my vampire voice on because we're watching a vampire movie this week called Night Teeth. So with me, I've got my hungry co-hosts, Jason.
Hi.
Hunter.
Thank God you didn't call us hungry hippos. I was worried when you
Timmy.
said hungry.
Hey,
What's up, fellas? How's it going?
it's going
It's a
well,
lot.
man. It's going
There's lots
well.
going
Busy.
on today.
Very busy.
It's Halloween
Jason
week.
and I are like blood brothers today.
Go ahead. Break your news for everybody.
We're like ink brothers. Because we have
I didn't
a
even
book
technically
releasing on the
release mine today.
same day. Well, I bought it, so it's released. I bought
It's
it.
out there. I just didn't announce it yet.
Well, why? What are you waiting for? Like
I told
till
you
the
I'd wait till the
seventh book
day
comes
after
out?
you.
You really?
And so, no, I
Stop
and I
with
always
that.
upload 2 days early anyway because sometimes it takes Apple forever to get the book live.
Because you know,
Oh.
if he released it today, your book would just get buried, dude.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would
I
don't wanna crush you.
bury my lead. It would be terrible.
Dozens of people are waiting to read this.
I'm selling it. I'm selling books by the tens of ones. So yeah, my book Faithless just came out, and Jason's book, what is it? Ravaged,
Shattered.
shattered. There we go. I was
Wow.
close.
Way to mess it up.
Speaking
Well,
of excited.
I didn't write the book or read it yet. I need time to sit with it. Let
So
gel with
it's
it.
technically available right now if you want to go get it. But yeah, I'll put it all out there tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe he'll let people know about it. Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't need money.
Vanilla Face is in the house, by the way.
What's up, Jabba
Oh,
There's so many people in the house right now. There better
All
not
right.
be any people in this house behind me because that can fucking freak me out.
did anyone watch the trailer for this and say hard pass? I wish we had.
Yeah,
Yikes.
we'll get to it.
Jack watched it and just kept talking about how hard he was. That's why we watched it.
I knew this movie as soon as I saw the trailer. I knew exactly what this was going to be, but we'll talk about that later.
I was talking to Lutsky today, and he was like, "I'm going to go watch the movie." And I was like, "Or don't."
Oh, you should have encouraged it.
I don't know why I was being nice. That was a rare moment for me.
Really? It's the little red pill.
All right. So, what are the drinking words for tonight?
Oh, drinking words. Here they go, everybody. You know the rules. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're new. I doubt it. We only have like 14 listeners, and you're all the same. So
There-
if we say
There's
these
more drinking
words,
words than listeners.
if we say these words, you drink. Jack, your words are Sydney, no shock there, vampire and underworld. Mine are Megan, party and minutes. Megan minutes definitely goes together in this. Fomanol.
I never heard of
Fomanol
that
sounds
one.
like something old time barbershop.
Sounds like something I shot into my veins in like the early 2000s.
Yeah, really. Get that Fomanol in. Yours are neon acting and shots. He who should not promote his book today is dialogue, driving, and corn.
Corn.
And bonus words are fox with a capital F. We talk about the fox like the animal. Doesn't count. Drive and Netflix.
What does the fox say?
God.
Not much in this movie.
No.
Yeah, right. All right. Thank you for the drinking words. Let's go to the award-winning news segment, please.
Oh shit! It's the news. Yay!
Even when you're late on the button, it doesn't matter.
It's still
It's all
funny.
good.
And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the news. As you know, Halloween is coming up soon. And what would you say is the most popular substance to use as fake blood? Ketchup, right?
Cat soup.
Oh,
see?
yeah.
Yeah, well, the most famous ketchup brand of all for the Halloween season is offering Heinz makeup kits blood ketchup costume kit.
Oh, you're gonna get ants all over you by the end of the night. That's not good.
You can get it for $19.99. You get the special Halloween themed ketchup, makeup palette, sponge, dropper, makeup brush, set, rhinestone sheet, tattoo sheet, vampire teeth, spooky eyelashes. Available at HeinzHalloween.com. So
That's some genius marketing.
pretty clever marketing right there. I will say this: a few years ago, my friend Shar went as Carrie for Halloween, and she used ketchup, and she was miserable, sticky, and stinky.
Yeah. If you want to be the kid with the flies buzzing all around you all night long, that's it.
That's gross.
You'd say I'm bloody Pigpen.
But they're going to sell those just for people who have to have the kit for their collection.
That's true.
Heinz is like the royal condiment where I'm from because it's out of Pittsburgh.
I've been to the Heinz headquarters.
It's like Heinz everything.
Really? No hunts?
Yeah.
No hunts.
If you show up
over
with
there, huh?
hunts, you will get stabbed.
You get hunted down.
My wife will if we get ketchup packets, we could be in the middle of nowhere. That's all you got is like ketchup packets in your bag, food you got. If it's hunts, she throws it out the window.
Jeez.
And then complains that there's no ketchup. Like, well, we had ketchup. Hunts isn't ketchup. It's tomato sauce. I'm like, okay.
I love French fries so much that I actually purchased one of these kits, and I would carefully paint on the ketchup for each fry.
Give it a little tea.
Delicious.
Lord of the fries. That was great.
You got to make sure you blend the blush, though.
Yeah, really.
Okay. The last piece of news. So on our latest Monster Men, Hunter and I were pairing like underrated, under the radar kind of movies with a more well-known movie. And one of the movies that we chose was Grabbers. Have you guys seen Grabbers?
Of course.
Yep.
Great flick. Great news. Great news. The director of Grabbers, John Wright, has a new movie coming out about malevolent goblins called Unwelcome.
Digging. I thought you were going to say it's a sequel called Yankers.
Crank Yankers.
I hope this new one involves alcohol too. I'd love to see drunk goblins.
There's a description I'm not really going to get into here. It's hard to tell whether this is I guess Grabbers is not a flat-out horror comedy. It's a horror movie that's humorous.
Mm-hmm.
It's humorous because people like to laugh at the Irish. I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're always laughing at you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I get it. Oh, you drink so much. Tim, every fucking hour, different beer. Here we go. It's Tuesday at 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
This is true.
I can always tell by whatever text I get. I'm like, oh, we're drinking at lunch.
So anyway, that's all I got. So let's get to what we watched.
Oh man, that was a quick one.
We have such sights to show you.
No fit to print? Come on.
Sorry,
We have
I'm
to.
I'm driving. I got a lot of balls in the air.
We need someone else. We need a board op. Who wants to volunteer to be the board op?
Time out. MVP as usual. Tina True Edwards.
Yes.
I googled and found it. Foamanol was a French shampoo. Apparently, found on one of those eBay listings for vintage sign advertising.
That's amazing.
Well done.
I thought it was Rotenol. That's the stuff that puts the creature from the Black Lagoon to sleep.
Nice.
Which would explain why Tim's always tired. So much Foamanol in his head.
Yeah. That or the beer.
Yeah, could be it.
All
I
right.
don't think I've ever talked to Tim when he wasn't drinking. Like
I know
that actually might be true.
Yeah, really. We'll do the intervention after the show.
I used to work with Hunter, and I could say the same thing.
We were young then. We're old. I can't keep up anymore.
Hunter, what'd you watch this week?
Watch my neighbor right over there. He likes to take baths without closing the blinds. No. Okay.
Oh.
So I went to Shudder First of all, you can see what I watch every day because I'm tweeting it like crazy. I think I hit movie number 51 this morning for the month of Horror-tober. I'm not going to hit 72 like I did last year, so I'm going to have to settle for second best.
Slacker.
Yeah, I know. I watched this movie. Have you guys seen this, Homewrecker, on Shudder?
No.
I have it bookmarked.
So it stars Precious Chong, who is the kind of like this middle-aged woman, kind of stuck in the 80s, lives alone, and she befriends Alex Esso, who you all know from Midnight Mass.
Oh.
She who reversed aged, and you're like, wow, she's the prettiest person here.
Wendy from Dr. Sleep.
Killer
and Wendy
Shelley
from
Duvall.
Dr. Sleep. So they have kind of like exercise classes together, and Precious kind of says, hey, starts to befriend her, asks her to come over her house, and things get really weird really freaking fast. This is like single white female within like a 12-hour period.
Oh, wow.
But it's crazy. It's so much fun. Look at that freaking hammer hanging out.
Sledgehammer on the wall.
Yeah. She's got a bizarre answer. Like Alex Esso doesn't like dismiss things either. So like she'll bring it up and she'll get the most crazy answer imaginable. But I can see sometimes you're in a situation with a person, you go, all right, I know this person's off, but maybe if I play along, it'll placate them and maybe I can, kind of exit stage left. It's a quick movie. It's a shit ton of fun. It's not perfect by any means necessary, but it was a very pleasant surprise on Shudder. So
I haven't even heard of this.
Yeah. To check it out.
It's been a big thumbnail from me on Shudder for a while. And I said,
yeah, I've had
pull the
that
trigger.
bookmarked in my Amazon, whatever. And
yeah. It's worth it. Totally worth it. It's a lot of fun.
Heal.
Nice.
Jason, what have you been up to?
I did not get to watch much this week, but once we watched this, we decided to watch another vampire movie, and we watched Blade 2.
Oh,
wow. Of all the ones.
So we watch Blade fairly consistently here. My wife loves that movie. I love that movie. We don't revisit Blade 2 all that much. And this is a good one. It's just not nearly as good as the first one. It doesn't live up to... There's a lot of weird Guillermo del Toro stuff in this. Like there's like pro wrestling moves out of nowhere. Just like god awful CG randomly that should not be in the movie. But if you can ignore that stuff, there's some fun, crazy vampire killing in this. It's gory as shit like the first movie. Lots of wild vampire stuff. And Ron Perlman is great.
Yeah.
His dealings with Wesley Snipes in this are just a lot of fun. It's just a good movie overall, but man, some of the CG aged really, really, really poorly. And they definitely tried to differentiate this. They brought this like crazy vampire mutation into it, which is neat. But I don't know. It's about Blade teaming up with the vampires to kill this mutation. And if you watch the first movie, which we watched not long ago, Blade hates vampires so much. The moment they walked in and tried to make a truce with him, he would just kill all of them. so you kind of
this is the Norman Reedus one.
Yeah, he's great in this too. They bring Whistler back. They kind of do some hand waving as to how he's still alive.
It's magic.
That's kind of what they do. They're like, you know what? He's a great character. We're not going to lose him.
He was.
I'm Chris Christopherson. Damn it.
It's a fun movie. It's not as good as the first, but it's so much better than the third that it's worth going back to.
Oh God, the third.
It definitely gets better by comparison.
Oh, that third one's rough.
We need a new Blade movie though.
They're rebooting Blade.
Are they redoing it?
Yeah, with the dude from True Detective season 3.
Marcel.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Ali.
Well, maybe they'll yank Eternals out of the theaters immediately and get to work on it. From everything I've read, that sounds really bad.
Okay,
No I bailed out of Marvel.
I was gonna go see it because Salma Hayek's in it, but I was like, oh no, this sounds terrible.
I want to see it. The comic, it's a great comic book. So
said nobody
never even heard of it.
growing up in the 80s. That was one of those ones. Eternals. Oh, I got this. Yeah, I'll trade this to some kid. Maybe I can get like a porno Maggie found in the woods. It was like an expendable. Like I can get rid of this. It's fine.
To be honest, that's how I was with my Guardians of the Galaxies. I had a ton of those damn things. I was like, fucking get out of
Nobody
here with
wanted
this
those. They were the ones that weren't worthy of the plastic bag when I was growing up. I was like, no, that goes in the who cares pile.
shit. Damn it.
Timothy.
Yeah. So a few weeks ago, I watched that anthology Halloween movie 1031.
Mm-hmm.
I watched 1031 Part 2. Yeah, pretty cool creature stuff.
Yeah.
So it's an anthology. There are like 3 or 4 fake trailers before this movie that are hilarious, by the way. In this one, they really went more for the comedy than they did in the first one, which I kind of appreciated. I don't think the stories are as good overall, but I definitely appreciated the comedic aspect of this one.
Wow.
What about the comedic aspect ratio? How was that?
I think the ratio was like 16.9, maybe. Is that a correct ratio?
Oh, if only
Sure.
the expert would know.
16.9, yeah.
Who are they?
Yeah.
Look, there's a giant like Miller bottle in the background.
Oh, but that's the Elvira lady. She's the bookend, so she'll like introduce the anthology, and then she'll
Hunter,
she'll
I think
show up
she's
again.
in the Halloween book that we're in.
You know what? I think you're right. Is
I
she in the
follow her
first
on,
movie too, Tim?
Why'd she look so familiar?
What?
I follow her
Is
on
she in-
Instagram.
Is she in the
She-
first movie as the
Yeah,
kind of
she's-
okay?
Yeah, she's in both of them. She was like basically just the Elvira. She introduces it and then closes it out. But yeah, I mean the stories are okay. There was one in there that was pretty fun. It was it basically takes place on Halloween night in this fancy neighborhood, and Jason shows up. Essentially, it's a dude in a hockey mask with a machete, and he shows up in the neighborhood and he's stalking this one chick and trying to kill her, obviously. And he shows up like outside her window, but then like another person shows up outside the window with like a knife, and they start like arguing. Well, Jason doesn't argue because he didn't say anything, but like the guy's like, I was here first, and like they get into like this little comedic skit, and then another, and so like there's like 6 killers that are all based off of like other movies, like standing
Right.
outside this window arguing with each other who's gonna kill this girl while she's like dancing to some music. It was just pretty funny. I don't know. I enjoyed that one, I think, the most out of all of them in this anthology. But it's free on Prime and Tubi, I think. Where the
All
first one I think you have to pay for. I think it was like $3.
That's not bad.
It's
Which was
usually
better?
backwards.
Yeah, it's usually backwards, right? But it's not for this one. But it's worth watching, I think, if you like your horror movies with absolutely no budget whatsoever.
All right.
Well, that describes your entire movie shelf there, Tim.
No, like it seriously has no budget, but like it actually looks kind of good. So I'm always impressed with movies that have zero budget and make something out of it. So
For
like
sure.
this show.
Yeah, this show looks great.
We've made lots out of this.
All right. So speaking of budgets, I got Peacock because of Halloween,
Peacock.
and I plan to cancel it, but I might keep it for an extra month because the Psych movie is on right after my month. So I might keep it for 2, but it's only like $4 or $5. But I am not keeping Peacock for the long haul. So while I'm there, I need to watch any horror movies they have to feel like I'm getting my money's worth. So I saw Phantasm 2, which is one of the harder ones to find because of licensing issues.
Yep.
And I have only seen Phantasm 1 and Phantasm 2, but I saw Phantasm 2 once, probably like in 1989 or something like that. So
Been a
I
while.
was watching it, not sure if I had seen it or not. And then a couple of things happened and go, oh yeah, I did see this one.
Was it the spine creature when that comes out of the back? That's very memorable.
I remembered the white elevator with then the red wasteland thing,
hmm
and that I actually the that creature effect you're talking about, I had forgotten about. I was like, oh, that looks like Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh yeah, I love that.
But there was like bits and pieces that I was like, oh yeah, like when Reggie gets thrown out of the car at the end, I remembered that. So anyway, I had a blast. Listen, Phantasm movies are their own thing, and I've only seen 2 of them. I know you guys can school me on the rest of it, but like I think you go in with a different expectation when you're watching so this one, like, it picks up like right after the other one left off, but then I forget their names. What is it?
Reggie,
What the other kid's name? Mike, the younger brother. He goes into like a mental institution for like 7 years, and then it picks up where he gets out, and he thinks like everything was a dream, but then Reggie sees him, and no, he doesn't. He convinces them that he's okay, but then he's in the graveyard digging up graves, and Reggie joins him, and then the toil man's back, and there's a blonde chick who connects to Mike psychically, and there's some boobs and some flying orbs and the tall man. And
Are there flying boobs?
I like how you just snuck boobs in there, like nonchalantly.
It doesn't open with a sex scene like the first one, though.
Yeah, that's right. They're flying boobs in, I think, the 4th,
Really?
third,
I was
third or
kidding.
4th. Yeah, the orbs come out of a woman's boobs and they fly around after him.
Wow.
One of the things I liked about this movie is that Reggie is the main character, and that Mike says to him at one point, like, because this girl is coming on to him or whatever, and whatever, he goes, "You're like a bald middle-aged guy. Like, why is this even happening to you?"
Yep.
Mr. Sam Raimi.
So
Oh yeah, that's funny.
I was very happy to go back and watch this again. Is it worth going through the rest of the Phantasm movies, or is this enough Phantasm?
I like them. They all have like their fine points. I actually like 3 a lot. 3's really fucking weird, but I really like it. I wasn't
If you
crazy.
like 1 and 2, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like if you like 1 and 2, you have to kind of just finish it out.
2 is my favorite. I know a lot of people are mad because they recast Mike, but I don't know. It has the biggest budget, and they do a lot of wild shit in this one. So, except they blow up the Hemi-Cuda. I'm still fucking pissed over that. Like, I had trouble watching the movie because of it, but it's my favorite in the series.
It's 80s rific. That's all I can say about it.
That's a good way to describe it.
All right, Hunter, what do you got?
Oh, all right. So when I die, which is probably in 4 or 5 days, I want to make it to Halloween. But anyway, when I die, if someone's going to compare me to like a horror writer, I don't ever want it to be Stephen King or Dean Koontz or John Saul or whatever.
Anybody good.
Right. By the way, I'm about to make you eat your own turds. I love British. It happens. I've seen little kids do it. Derailed. Do you guys know the horror writer, the British horror writer, Guy N. Smith? Who did?
Oh,
think
Guy N. Smith.
Crabs?
Yeah, Crabs, dude.
Yeah.
Crabs is amazing.
Made like 15 giant killer crabs novels.
I feel like you mentioned him on this show once. I think that's the only reason I know him.
Yeah, I know Guy N. Smith.
Like, that's the person I want to say, oh, Hunter Shea was, the reincarnation of Guy N. Smith. And now
I could see that. I could see
he's
that for
dead.
sure.
And the funny thing is that I only really started reading him like a couple of years ago. And I'm realizing this guy was my soulmate. And of course, he died of COVID last year.
Oh,
So I don't have him around. But I heard that he used to host a Guy N. Smith convention in his home
really?
for 20 years. People could come to his house, and him and his
he would
wife
lure
host him.
small children in for these.
Probably
This guy is your soulmate.
Yeah.
Totally.
So what are you trying to say? We're gonna get a Hunter Shea convention getting started?
It's a damn good idea because there's a lot of room in this attic. If I just
It's
clear a couple of
BYOB.
things out, bring my beer. So I read one of his books called The Slime Beast, which there are 2 of them, and now I have to seek out the second. This guy's like a master of just B-movie, campy, monster horror, and this one is no exception. It's from, I think, 1975, right around there. It's quick. I don't even think it was 200 pages long, but it's about a professor who's looking for this buried treasure somewhere in the countryside over by the water, and a meteor crashes down, and of course, what crawls out of that meteor and lives in the mud is a slime beast, and this slime beast pops up every night and just murders a few people and goes back to sleep. In between this, the professor brings his niece, who's like 20, and some student who's like 22, and they spend the entire book fucking each other every chance they can get, quite graphically.
This sounds like a Hunter Shea novel.
Dude, well, I don't do like sex in my books. Like I'm like, I gotta really jack this stuff up, because he also used to write softcore porn way back in the day.
Oh.
And tons of other stuff. The guy's written like 1,000 books or something ridiculous. But it's this the townies against this monster, and the way they casually accept that, oh yes, this is a slime beast that literally you can shoot it all you want, you can't kill it, and it reeks, and it wreaks havoc. It was just such a fun, mindless, just great. I mean, sometimes this is what you just want to unplug and just enjoy yourself and lose yourself in complete nonsense. And this was perfect. This is nonsense in the most perfect way. So
kind of a
I'll read part
pulpy
2.
kind of novel.
Very pulpy.
Oh,
super pulpy.
Guy
So,
and
yeah.
Smith.
Guy
I will
and
check
Smith.
him out.
They're
Guy
a
and-
crap to read.
Crabs
I
is
see-
great. The book, not actual crabs.
Right. They're terrible. They're so itchy. By the way, Eric Smith, Hunter Shea is the Guy and Smith of Hunter Shea's. That's fantastic.
I see you as the second coming of Guyan from Star Trek: The Next Generation, played by Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, what did Chad say? I really do think. Oh, I gotta check. See, I'm already thinking. We had discussed one day about my porn career that I'm going to get started. So, someday
Okay, let's
be
move
the lookout.
on. Jason, please.
Jack's like, don't say the name.
You moved on from that very quickly. So I did the homework I said I was going to do, and I
Yes.
played the Bad Ben game.
Yes.
Oh
I
my
gotta hear
God.
about this.
It took, I don't know, 20 minutes to beat. This is what it looks like for everybody when you go to it. It plays in your browser,
Right.
click run, and it just loads, and then you walk around as Nigel Bach, or what the hell's his name in this?
Tom Riley.
Tom Riley, yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, it's literally, there's nothing to it. You walk around. Oh, I didn't share it with audio. Shoot.
Oh, that's are there a lot of goddammits?
You can hit a button and swear.
So
The,
Also,
my buddy Morgan sent me a audio text message that was just swearing. And I wrote back, I'm like, is this the Bad Bed game? He's like, yes.
Yep. I mean, it's like you're playing a Bad Ben movie. You basically fumble around the house, going from room to room, doing nothing and swearing. And you'll see things move behind you a little bit. And then you see something moving in front of you a little bit, and then you swear. I mean, even the way the text comes on the screen at
All
the
right,
beginning.
let's see what I've gotten myself into.
Let's see if
Well,
I can
he
even
definitely
play
They
voiced
told me
it.
the previous owner mysteriously disappeared.
Can you hear
And they
anything? Because I
mentioned
can't.
something
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
about
we
the
can hear
him.
outlet security system
See
too.
if I.
Shit.
Yeah, see, that's me doing that.
God damn it. God damn it.
The way he moves around is hilarious.
we just need that as a sound clip for this show.
Fuck.
That's it.
Fuck.
So that's basically the game. It's
This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
that
That
can
is
keep me occupied all
amazing.
day. Oh,
Like I
God.
said, it took, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, something like that to beat, but it's exactly what I expected. If you're thinking you're going to get like a real game where you're fighting ghosts or whatever, like
Right.
you have to watch Bad Ben. Like it's what you would expect. And then at one point I'm getting ready to go up in the attic and a trailer for his new movie just plays. And then you're back, then you like never actually went up the stairs to the attic, and he's like, "Oh, that was the scariest shit I've ever seen," or something like that.
So the
Let-
whole thing is an ad for his movie.
Basically, yeah. It's
Lutz,
great.
Lutsky's comment is gold. He looks like Hank Hill from.
He does. Bobby, get over
Damn
here.
it! Damn it, Bobby!
Oh man. So
there are some ghosts in this her house.
I need propane.
That's
amazing.
Yeah,
dude.
bravo.
Whoever
man.
made that, good job. I mean, I could see people playing that and being mad because it's not like a normal game, but it's like you're playing a Bad Ben movie. It really is.
Yeah, if I
It's
can
only
make
for
Tom
super
Riley
fans
say,
like you.
yeah, fucking goddamn it, that'd be all that's coming out of my speakers.
The whole time I was walking around the house, I was just hitting that button. Fuck. God damn it. Like the whole time.
he needs to just have an app that you could just like a soundboard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
maybe
yeah.
we should make one.
There you go.
Maybe we should make a bumper out of something he did.
Oh, yeah. He'll go and kill Tim. He's close by.
Yeah.
I don't
Thanks.
like what you did. God damn it.
Thanks for putting that on me.
Speaking of Tim, you're up.
Oh, I'm up. Okay. So I wanted to watch something kind of good. So I put on The Evil Dead remake.
Hey,
Of
so I was
course,
waiting.
that's
When
where
you
you
said
go.
I'm going to watch something good, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yep.
So I only watched this movie once, and it was in the theaters when it first came out. And I remember liking it. Like I remember it, leaving the theater being satisfied by it. So I wanted to go back and revisit it for a while. And I forget what platform it's on. It might be on like Showtime or Stars or something like that. But yeah, I went back and revisited this, and I have to say this is pretty good. Like more than good. I actually really enjoyed it the second time around. I like the setup for it is a little bit different. So it's a bunch of kids, instead of going just to the house to like just hang out and vacation. They're going there because the main character is a heroin addict, and they're going to detox her. And that's when they discover the Necronomicon and read from it, and wild shit starts to happen. This movie is way over the top violent in like ways that I forgot, but like the entire third act of this movie is outrageous and insane, and so much blood. I actually had a blast watching this movie, and I feel like if we're gonna get remakes, not that I'm a huge fan of them, I'd rather see Hollywood do like original stuff. But if we're going to get remakes, I feel like this is the perfect way to do it, because it was a good nod to the original. Kept the spirit of the original. It didn't take itself too seriously, and it was just over the top violent and gory and bloody, and it was just fun. And that's what the first Evil Dead movie is. It's just super fun. So,
and if you ever want to see Chad Lusky get the shit kicked out of him for a half an hour, that's the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only seen this once as well in the theater. I haven't revisited it, but I liked it quite a bit when I saw it. And a lot of people didn't. I was surprised.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, it's
because
so
it's
much fun.
Evil Dead. It's not. It's Evil Dead without Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell's in it though.
Yeah, but I mean, look, the movie's crazy. I just
Yeah,
watched
I like
it not too long ago.
We
it's a lot of
watched it
fun.
for
It's fun.
Lutsky's podcast.
That's right.
We compared the original Evil Dead to this one, and my feeling is it's fine, but it doesn't have the charm, and it's not memorable. It's like, no, it's a pretty good gory movie, but
I mean, that's the thing. Like when I left the theater, I was like, I had that same exact opinion. Like it's fine, it's serviceable. I had a good time with it. It wasn't, terrible. But like going back and revisiting it, like I feel like I need to watch it more often, because I had a lot of fun watching it. So I don't know. Maybe it's one of those movies that just kind of get better as time goes on. I don't know.
When she bifurcates her tongue, oh god,
Oh,
That was
brutal.
gross.
I just loved like the raining gore at the end, and she's just like covered in it, and like the demon when it's like coming out of the ground. Like I love that whole scene.
was bifurcates a drinking word?
Yeah, he missed that. He missed that one. What the hell?
It's your SAT word for the show.
Bifurcates.
All right, Evil Dead. Well,
When this show's over, Jack's gonna bifurcate just before he goes to bed.
I have a movie that when I mention it, I know Hunter's immediate trigger reaction when I say this movie.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Because we watched a vampire movie with two lead female vampires, who one is a little more straight-laced and one is a little bit more of the wild card. I decided to go back and watch a vampire movie I'd only seen once, but I kind of got a kick out of, called Kiss of the Damned from 2012. Hunter,
Kiss of the Damned.
I never
Why is
watched
that
this. I
not-
don't think.
I never
Oh,
watched
God.
this.
Because this is the one you always say that your wife feels like it's a soft core porn movie.
Because she's right. It is.
So this is what I love. The guy who like lives in Times Square filth. This movie comes up. He's like, oh, this movie was like, oh, such a porn.
Well,
movie."
no, I mean, look, if you're gonna beat off,
Love
beat
this
off.
film.
But if you, I don't know, you know, I either want to be scared or hard. Don't confuse me.
What?
So this movie is pretty good. It's short on story, and it's funny because
But long
having
on
already
penis.
seen it once. What's his name? Milo Ventimiglia from Heroes.
Yeah. Rocky.
He falls. He's in a video store, meets this beautiful woman who happens to be a vampire. They have an instant connection. He makes a run at her, but she's like, no, we can't, even though they can't resist each other. Finally, she chains herself to a bed and shows him that when she gets aroused, the fangs come out. But he's like, I don't care. And he like unchains her and they go at it. And then, you know, right at the moment of truth, she sprouts fangs and bites him and turns him into a vampire. And he seems to not care. So
Yep.
this movie, like you could watch it and be like, gee, they really should have put more time into this relationship. But at the same time, I don't need like a 2.5 hour movie for this story. So I was like, okay, we get
Yeah.
it. They like each other. Let's just move on.
Uh-huh.
Then he's sort of getting initiated into the vampire culture. And this is part of why I wanted to watch this, because having Night Teeth have that whole vampire subculture, I was like, oh, let me go back and watch this, because I remember this had sort of the erudite. It's a vampire subculture where they're trying not to kill. They're trying to coexist more and, you know, eat from animals and stuff. But
That sounds familiar.
the wild card sister, well, it's the wild card sister comes back to town and she's killing people left and right. And so they're trying to get a rein on her, but she is like presenting temptation to different people and corrupting people and causes. Michael Rappaport shows up as
Michael Robin.
as, the
God.
guy's he's a
Dick Ritchie.
writer. And then Riley Keough has a small
Ritchie.
role in this, which I never would have known. I didn't know who she was the first time I saw it.
Yeah, who's
Um,
that?
Riley Keough, she was the one in what's that movie where they're up in the lodge?
Yeah, The Lodge.
There's a lodge.
The
I'm
one
the
who was not
nosy.
Alicia Silverstone.
The reason to watch this movie is because the aesthetic of it is it feels like it was made in the 1970s. The filmmaking, the camera work, even the grain of the film, it feels like a European vampire movie from the 70s.
So it's slow and boring, but has a lot
Yeah,
of
I was
boobs.
gonna say that doesn't sell it for me. Got to be
No,
honest.
the aesthetic of it.
It's
The aesthetic
elevated
of it.
horror that's best thrown down an elevator shaft.
That's not elevated, man. There's
No,
like
not really.
sexy scenes left and right. But it's I think if you're looking for something a little bit different, like I said, it's not the greatest movie in the world, but if you're looking for a vampire movie that you haven't seen yet, this one's worth a look. But it definitely has a little bit of a sexy twist to it, if you know what I mean.
Mm.
If you want,
But there's
sexy
not a ton of
vampires-
there's not a ton of nudity in it. There's only one or two little glimpses.
Did you say it's 2.5 hours?
No, I said it's not 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
That's why, like, if you
Can you
watch it, you're gonna be
imagine?
like, wow, they really don't spend a lot of time with character development, and I was fine with that because I was like, yeah, I can take the shorthand. They love
like
each
the
other.
Love
I-
Witch. That's a long ass movie.
Oh
Yeah.
God!
Whoa.
Don't mention that movie to me.
Somebody does need to make a 2.5 hour sexy vampire flick, though. That needs to happen.
If you want a sexy vampire flick, get The Hunger with David Bowie, Susan Sarandon, and Catherine
Yeah.
Deneuve. That's a
That's
sexy
true.
one. Legit
the-
sexy.
The plot of this movie is very similar to Only Lovers Left Alive, which actually came out after this.
Hmm.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, you like that movie?
Yeah, I did. It caught me on the right day. If I watch it again,
Nope.
that might change.
We don't care what you thought of that, but
No,
we would
of
like to
course
hear
not.
what your next thing is.
Well, when we were all at Scares at Care, I'm sorry, not all of us. Tim didn't go, but you know, when 3/4 of us were there, Jack,
The ones who matter.
Yeah, totally.
That's true.
Jack, we were at Russell James's table,
Yes.
and we bought some books, and I picked up Mammoth Island.
Oh,
This is his
Hmm.
latest. I guess it's his latest separate press book. This he has a recurring character, Grant Coleman. So he does the Cavern of the Damned. I can't remember them. Oh, by the way, he gave me the greatest. He signed my book. It said, "It's your fault I started writing this stupid stuff." But I got to tell you, this was my favorite Russell James book by far. It's like a 200-page novella. It is non-stop balls to the wall. It's Grant Coleman and a bunch of people are kind of Shanghai to go to this hidden island in the Arctic where there's a Russian base or some base that's been trying to resurrect woolly mammoths. And you have resurrected dinosaurs, including giant beavers. That was probably my favorite scene in all. You've got Russian oligarchs, military coming in, blowing the shit out of everything. The ecosystem going bananas. It just never stops. And the dialogue in this is witty, and some parts drop. It's just hysterical. I devoured this book, Mammoth Island, and there's a hint that there's going to be another one to come, and I can't wait. I can't This is like last year. I think Tomb of the Gods by Brian Moreland was like the most fun I had reading. This is the most fun I've had this year, even more than the Slime Beast.
Wow.
So that's in the continuity of his other book. Was it Q Island?
No, Q Island that's a separate world, and there's a sequel to that. But this one is Cavern of the Damned, Monsters in the Clouds, Curse of the Viper King, and Forest of Fire.
Because I know Q Island had a woolly mammoth thing.
Yes, that is correct, sir. So he does like mammoths.
Who doesn't like mammoths, though?
Dude.
Yeah,
All
I
I
was
know
with
is
you when you bought that book. Do you remember I bought one from him that he didn't sign?
At least he didn't sign one of your books to himself. At least he didn't do that. Like
that's
somebody
the
else.
Greatest book signing moment of all time.
It really is.
You'll never forget that.
I bought one of his books, but it'll be like 4 years by the time I get to it. So
Yeah, I got home and I was like putting all my books on the shelf and reading what everybody signed. I'm like, where is it? And I keep like, fucker. Russell.
You could mail it down to him. Say, here, sign it, man. Please.
I'm sure I'll just end up buying another one of his. It scares next year.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, this is the most fun I've ever had. It's like it was firing on all cylinders. Like everything worked here. Shit ton of fun.
Maybe I'll buy that next year then.
Inspired me to write another Severed Press book. So I got to get going. I want Hunter Shea to start signing books, Guy and Smith. Fuck yeah. I'll do that. Well, only when you come to my con up here in my attic.
Wish it'll just be you and him, and Hunter will be naked.
5 o'clock, I'm giving a dissertation on creating the perfect monster. 6 o'clock is Tubby time. 7 o'clock is fucking shotgunning Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's gonna be a fun time.
Shotgunning Hunter.
It's 11 o'clock.
All right, Jason, what do you got?
Well, Steve's asks if I'm ready for the Children of the Corn prequel. No, and kiss my ass. God, I do not want to watch that.
Yes, don't blame you.
I read a story that I saw recommended in a YouTube video. I think it was by Red Letter Media. It is called, let's see if I can find it here. It's called The Things by Peter Watts. And I'm posting it here because you can read it for free on clarksworldmagazine.com if you just search for Things by Peter Watts. So this is the thing told from the perspective of the thing. So as it's assimilating people and trying to survive, and it's just the way it go about it. It's basically the creature it can't understand why it's being burned and why humans are fighting it and why they won't just assimilate. It can share vast knowledge, and it's been all over the cosmos and has taken over thousands of civilizations and all these different things. And as it's just slowly coming to the horrible, horrific conclusion that humans are separate creatures. They're not all one entity, and it's just blown away by this. And how it just decides how it needs to get more violent and what has to happen. So it's a pretty cool story. It's maybe I don't know, 6,000-7,000 words. It's not that big, but just a cool read to hear, when it sees Childs or runs into McReady or whatever, and how it's trying to survive in the camp. It's pretty cool.
Does it answer the question at the end of who's the thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So is it a sequel to the novella or the movie?
To the movie. It's to the movie.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Thank God, not to the freaking book.
The novella's terrible. Oh my
God.
God. That's some of the worst writing you're
That
ever
was
going
a
to see.
rough read. I was so excited to read that.
Me too. I was like, I got my hand on this like classic edition, spent good money for it. I'm like, oh, this is just wretched.
It's really bad.
Have you read it, Tim? Who goes
I
there?
have not. I
Oh.
have not read it.
Let it go.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Read
It's like
things.
50 characters in it too. All of them unfleshed out and forgettable.
All right, Timmy, what do you got?
All right, I need a beer, but before I go grab another one, so I can
Mhm.
actually talk about this movie that we watched this past week. I read a book, and Hunter, I think you read this book a few weeks ago, but I feel like it's worth mentioning again. And that book is yours
Sexy.
truly, Memoirs.
Raise it up a little bit more.
You pervo.
What?
Don't be a perv.
She autographed that very same picture to me like 12 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. It's hanging on my wall.
This book is fantastic. It's just basically her entire life from when she was growing up until she became Elvira. And I think you mentioned it when you talked about it that like only like the last like 80 pages is her becoming Elvira.
Yeah.
But I actually found all the other stuff, her life pretty fascinating, and just like it was just a really good story, and it was very well written, and it's in her like her voice. And
Yeah.
I love her voice, and like just her corny little jokes and like her little gags. But my favorite chapter, I think, of the whole book is called Boobs and Beer.
I wonder why.
Where she talks about she was like a sponsor for Coors in like the late 80s, early 90s.
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
And then she opened up her own craft brewery in Colorado, which
Yeah.
I thought was pretty fascinating. So
Wow.
yeah, I thought that was cool. So anyway, worth checking out. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was shocking. I thought it'd be kind of like pablum at best. I was like, oh, this is actually really intriguing stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome. Every chapter is like just fascinating because it's like she met so many cool people, like Elvis. Like there's a whole chapter on her hanging out with Elvis in like Las Vegas and just like chilling with him in a hotel room.
Jimi Hendrix,
Robert De Niro for like
Robert
a
De
bit.
Niro, a little bit with little Bobby.
But like just cool stories, man. It was just a fun like piece of nonfiction. I don't really read a whole lot of nonfiction, so it was cool. I enjoyed it.
I just
Splendid.
bought you the making of the Wishmaster series.
I'll read that shit for sure.
I'm saving it for Christmas though. I'm gonna hand
All right.
deliver it to you.
Well, I'm gonna go grab a beer now because I need another one to talk about Night Teeth. So
Okay.
All right, sure.
I think maybe episode 250 will be Wishmaster 4, where he's having sword fights in the woods.
Please,
God.
thank God.
All right. My last movie is, since I watched that documentary about the Althoff Pass incident a couple of weeks ago, I
Yep.
watched Devil's Pass, the 2013 Rennie Harlan found footage flick.
So
My
much
wife
fun.
has watched that no less than 100 times. I'm not even kidding.
Really?
It's
I
crazy.
mean, it's not that much fun.
It's just there was a whole year it was on all the time.
That movie takes a really big swing. So it's kind of like Expedition goes to retrace the steps of the party and interview people on the way and stuff. And then, like any found footage movie, they're dropping kernels of clues to you that pay off later, so that you go, "Oh yeah, that thing they mentioned at the beginning is there now," kind of thing.
Yeah.
One of my favorite, Hunter, we were talking about this when I was at your house. people in found footage movies speak in exposition.
Oh
And
god.
this movie is like the king of that. They're all like, well, because of that thing that we did, everything is like,
And I love how like a lot of them they also call each other by name. I'm like, you're standing face to face. How often do I look at you? If I'm in front of you, hey Jack, what you doing, Jack? Jack, you want to?
Yeah.
No.
That drives me insane in movies and books. Stop
Yeah.
it.
We know.
I will
who you
say though,
are.
like it's a decent found footage movie and worth watching. It's got, like I said, the ending gets very, I don't know.
It's
they
out
go
there.
for it. They go for it. They
Yeah.
really, like I said, they take a big swing. I don't. Last week you said, Jason, you said it's a home run in a t-ball game. I don't know about that, but like it entertained me for the night. I got a kick out of it, and like I said, is one of those ones that there were some things that they said. I'm like, oh, that's right. They dropped that big hint at the beginning. You knew that was going to come back. So it's worth checking out. But I'm glad that I saw the documentary first, so that I knew the real story. Because if I had gone in a little bit blind on that,
Eric Smith brought up. Now you've read J.H. Moncrief's. Have you read Return of the Outlaw?
I haven't read that. I
Oh,
read
yeah,
her.
I
I
have.
read her Wendigo one.
Yeah, it's a great book. And yeah, Chad, my wife she watches it from start to end. It's just whole lifetime spent watching. There were times when I would always wake up right when the girl is like crying.
Mhm.
There was like my alarm clock. I was like, oh, fucking movie's on again. Must be 6 o'clock in the morning. Time to get up.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. If it had a little better CG at the end, that would help too. There are a couple spots that are like,
Yeah.
but it's fun.
How does JH's book compare to this?
Much better. In every way. Much, much better. And she had a book that just came out today too.
Oh yeah, what is that?
Oh, God almighty, you just put me on the spot. I can't
Put
remember
on
the
the
name of it, but it's a haunting. It's a ghost book. It's supposed to be a little bit based on something she experienced.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right, is that it for everybody?
Done.
Yeah.
All right, main feature time. Let's do this.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Okay. Night Teeth. When we first heard about this movie, we heard that it was a Megan Fox vampire movie.
We did.
Then we heard it was a Megan Fox Sydney Sweeney vampire movie.
2 thumbs up.
Then I saw the trailer, and like I said, I kind of knew what we were in for as soon as I saw the trailer, because the other girls are way more in it, and you only really saw them from like one scene. I said, okay, I think this is going to be more of a cameo, but we'll get into that. This is directed by our pal Adam Randall.
Yeah,
from, I See You, and
Which is a great movie.
Jason, why don't you synopsize this for us, please?
So this movie's Blade, but without Wesley Snipes.
Or it's a Collateral.
Good way to put it.
I was going to say it's Blade meets Collateral.
An upstart vampire starts killing all the entrenched vampires who have a deal with humans, so they're not at constant war. And somebody from the outside is accidentally brought in and has to deal with all the vampire craziness, even though he's a human, much like the female from the hospital in Blade. Yeah, I don't know, whatever.
There you go. Yeah, I would have said Collateral because it was the driver who has to keep driving people around to do their
One more time with feeling.
And then there's
you know,
there was when I saw the crossbows going off, I was like, okay, we got a little Blade thing going on here. Tim, you go first. Impressions.
I didn't hate it. Like
next,
it's gonna be on the Blu-ray.
No, I mean it was okay. I mean, there's a lot of things I liked, and then there were some things I didn't like. I thought the acting was pretty good. I thought all the actors did a decent job portraying their characters. I thought some of it was pretty well written in terms of like dialogue And then
How much were you drinking when you watched this?
Not that much. I think I was working. I think I was.
You didn't
at
say
work.
nothing, but you know.
But I don't know. Like Netflix movies are like their movies that they make are a little bit weird because they have like this aesthetic to them that's just like it feels like it could have been better if it was like a mini series or something. Like they had time to like flesh a lot of like the world out and do some world building with it because I feel like I couldn't get a sense of like the world that they were in. You know, I love the Underworld movies, and it kind of like reminded me a little bit of that. But like that does such a good job building that world and giving you that atmosphere. This like I don't know, it fell short in that regard. And then some of the CGI, especially towards the end, I wasn't a fan of. But
I did expect to see Kate Beckinsale come flying out of nowhere,
right,
at any given moment. But then but everything would turn kind of bluish. Like if you saw things going blue, like oh here she comes.
I did like that was the one thing I did like the colorization of it. Like I love that like that neon kind of trippy stuff. So like I said, I mean it was okay. I wish it was a little bit more. I wish they had built it up a little bit more. I wish the story was a little bit more coherent and made a little bit more sense. But I mean, other than that, I mean it was okay. I can't beat it up too much because you know I can't.
Okay,
Right.
Hunter, what do you got?
I liked it. I actually enjoyed this movie. I believe it or not.
Wow.
There you go.
I thought you were going to lose your mind.
Yeah, see, this is the big shock. That's why I give a little pause. It's drama. Maybe it's because it's, you know, Horror-tober and I'm just watching a ton of horror movies and just enjoying every aspect of the month. I don't know. I had a really good time with this movie. Look, there are parts of this, the whole, like, you know, the truce. We've seen this stuff before. You broke the truce and we're taking over. I didn't care about any of that. I actually really enjoyed the chemistry between Debbie Ryan, who played Blair. Now, Debbie Ryan, I remember from Zack and Cody's Sweet Life or something, or Sweet Boat Adventure when my kids were little. Yeah, so she was like a child actor when my kids were little. But the chemistry between her and Benny. That's the part I liked. And look, it was predictable. They weren't doing anything that I didn't think was going to happen at one point or another. But I liked watching that aspect. I do like rom-coms. That's a little secret. So this kind of had those feels for me. Jason, I don't know. I figure you got to love this because the girl who played Zoe looks like she's on the cover of every Hunger book.
She has a great aesthetic for sure.
I mean, Jesus, she's crazy, and we've all dated that person at one time or another. I mean, she was alive, not a vampire, but we've all had that person in our lives. We understand. And then we all went to a nicer girl after that. I will say it was, and Tim, you mentioned like the Netflix aesthetic. It's too bright and shiny for me. Like this is a movie that takes place almost all at night, and it's so bright. Maybe that's why they put it in the city of lights.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like that though. I like the brightness. It was just more of like just the feel of it. More like the mood of it. I don't know. It felt like it was like the pilot episode of a series or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that. They could have like pushed harder on like maybe like the over the top comedy. Maybe they could have thrown in there, or the party. You could have played up going to these different clubs, and there's so many different ways you could have taken it. Love the fact of what happened with Megan Fox and Sydney Sweeney. That was hysterical. I just thought of Jack the entire time. But yeah, when it was all over, said and done, my wife and I looked at each other and we were like, yeah, that was pretty good. And I was like, I know that I'm alone in this. I know I'm going to be fighting the fight tonight. Usually I'm on the other side.
I mean, I'm like,
whatever.
I'm like right in the middle. I mean, I didn't like it. I didn't not like it. It's just, it was okay. I didn't feel like I wasted my time, at least.
Right.
Okay, Jason.
Someone who felt his time was wasted, who has not
Tried to
No.
hide his emotions this entire night.
I'm gonna say, 5 minutes in, I could tell this movie was not for me, just because of how glitzy and glossy and everyone was just young and beautiful vampire kind of movie. Like, that's not my thing.
Young and beautiful,
it-
the opposite of you.
Shut
You didn't fall in love with Debbie Ryan? Wow.
up. Which one was she?
She was Blair, the good vampire.
Oh no.
She was a good cop.
So
Yeah.
Tim, I'm kind of the opposite of you. The writing is what bothered me. The
Really?
love story between the main character and the Debbie Ryan. I'm like, so she's like 50 or 60 or 70, and she's interested in this wimp who's driving. Like, I don't know. There's just all that stuff. I wasn't into it. The story being just kind of Blade-esque didn't help. I mean, there's some cool moments in it, but I wanted either more violence or more grittiness or more humor. I wanted it to kind of go further in some direction instead of just like a little bit of everything. So it just didn't land for me. But like I said, I could tell right away this movie was not meant for me. Like, this is not something I was just gonna really.
It's not meant
get
for any
into.
of us. Nobody was thinking of our crusty ass demographic.
No, it really did. You
Absolutely
nailed
not.
it, Tim. It looked like other shiny Netflix horror movies, of which those are not meant for me, clearly.
Right.
But yeah, it was more like the story stuff. Just I couldn't get into it. I was like, what? I don't know. I didn't understand any of the motivations of most of the characters.
I kind of like the whole like fish out of water thing. That's always like a it always grabs me. So like the main character is like
Me too.
just sent off on like this journey, and like he has no idea what he's in for, and like you're kind of like discovering things unfold as he's doing it. I kind of like that aspect. That's what I meant. Like the writing was pretty good. I actually like the banter between him and the vampires. Like I thought they had like good witty, like dialogue back and forth.
Him falling in love with the woman who's going to kill him and who has basically said they're going to kill him. I did not buy that love story at all in either direction. Like him helping them when it's like, wait a minute,
I felt
you can get away now.
Well, I mean, the way I looked at it was like she knew she had to kill him, but she didn't want to, and I thought that was like a cool little aspect of her character.
Yeah,
not wanting to kill him. Yeah, I agree with that. But falling in love with him and all that
irredeemable.
shit. Like,
I don't know. I felt
You're just-
but I still have love in my heart.
You're just like the opposite of a romantic, though. So
yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
It's like even
exactly.
the fight scenes, they kind of like cut away from the fight scenes. I wanted to see that shit.
Now you're mowing my lawn. That's what I was going to say.
Go ahead, I'll stop talking.
So
now you're mowing my lawn.
That's such a grandpa thing to say.
That's such a grandson thing to say.
Stop
mowing my lawn.
So I read the news that there was going to be a Megan Fox vampire movie. Then Sydney Sweeney's in it too. So I was like, what thank you, horror movie gods. Then I saw the trailer shortly before we decided to do this. And if you remember, I floated 2 movies to you guys. And you all were like, no, we're doing the Megan Fox vampire movie. I was like, okay.
It was free.
Because I saw the trailer and I knew exactly what this movie was going to be from the trailer. I was like, oh, this is going to be a mainstream Netflix movie. Megan Fox is going to be in it for 5 minutes. So I was not surprised whatsoever. And then I guess it's like PG-13 or whatever. So, there was very little edge to this movie when you get like even comparing it to something like Blade.
Blade is a hard R.
Yeah. I mean, Buffy the Vampire Slayer is like got more edge to the vampire fights than this thing does. So
come on, they had those like laser arrows. Those are awesome.
I don't know if "awesome's" the right word.
That caused no damage to anything.
She got stabbed in the heart with one and lived.
Just needed some blood.
So having my expectations managed, I took it for what it was. This is a mainstream Netflix movie. I really liked the artwork that they did at the beginning, and I kind of was upset that they kind of let it go. after the
Mhm.
beginning because
You mean like the reflections on the car and stuff?
yeah, they did that kind of animated thing that would like build into the car thing. Like in the Candyman, the new Candyman movie, they do this really cool thing with kind of like shadow puppet things.
Yes.
That's really cool. That I was hoping that they would stick with that aesthetic throughout this, but they didn't. But yeah, the lead characters had charisma. I kind of agree with you, Jason, in that I wasn't quite buying it, but I was rolling with it for the story because the main guy had charisma, and everybody had charisma enough for me to go. Again, I wasn't that invested in it. I was just like, get me through the night, entertained. This is not a horror movie. It's actually my friend Morgan said he goes, "This is Grand Theft Auto with vampires." So,
And I think if you're younger, you're really gonna dig it.
yeah, it's for a mainstream younger crowd
Yeah.
who they don't want to watch a vampire movie like that one that's on the airplane, Red Sky or whatever it was called earlier this year,
Blood Red Sky?
Blood Red Sky,
Blood
yeah.
Red Sky, yeah.
Or anything like that. So for what it was, like I don't think it's like a great movie, but it's not like Tim. I think I'm right with you. It's like it was okay. There was stuff I liked about it. I wish that they kept cutting away from the violence. A couple of places they could have been funnier, and they weren't. A couple of places they could have been more horrific, and they weren't. So it was there wasn't an edge. It was polished.
What did you think of seeing Theon Greyjoy?
I
as the
wish
bad
that
guy?
Megan Fox had been the lead bad guy.
Yeah,
in
for
this
sure.
movie.
I thought she was. I don't watch trailers. I knew nothing about this except you guys said Megan Fox, vampire movie, Netflix, sold. So I was really not pleased at the 30 seconds of screen time she got.
Yeah, she didn't get a script. She got one of those fortune cookie strips. Well, here's your line. Memorize and just sit
Her
right
and
here.
Sydney Sweeney clearly showed up. They said, "Put these outfits on. Here's your lines." Because Sydney Sweeney trying to talk vampire speak was pretty funny.
But it made up her outfit made up for it.
Yeah.
Nobody heard a word she said.
Theon Greyjoy, he was fine.
Yeah, he was.
I
all
like
right.
the cast.
He
I
made
like
it.
the
I
cast.
I thought
Bad
I thought all the actors, even the main guy, I was like really impressed with him. I thought
he was great.
I thought he
Yeah.
killed it. I thought the two, the main vampire girls throughout also killed it. The acting, I think, was like the best part of the movie, and that's
agree.
what
Was
kept
Zoe
it,
the
like,
loose
even.
cannon one?
Yes.
Yeah,
She was great. I actually would like to see her.
She was
in-
in the other Netflix movie that actually kind of reminded me a lot of this, just the aesthetic. Bright. I don't know if you guys saw that movie with Will
Oh,
Smith.
yeah.
Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like the main girl in that too.
There's a scene when like they're getting away in the car and they're shooting those laser crossbow bolts at,
Crossbows bolts.
and she's just hanging out the window. Just
Yeah.
like I thought that was a kind of a cool scene. That's the freedom of youth that none of us have anymore.
The
So
freedom of being 70 years old and acting like you're 16.
she was
Yeah.
200. She was very
Oh,
old.
I thought she said
It was
70.
kind of like the Joker.
By the way,
in
if we
Dark
lived to
Knight.
fucking 400, we'd be the same asses that we are right now, guaranteed.
I feel like we'd be miserable, and at that point, you just want to die.
Typically, like, I've been trying to drink myself to death for 200 years. This isn't
My
happening.
liver won't give out.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to really temper this with 10 minutes in. I knew this movie was not directed at me. This is not directed at the hardcore horror fan. This is for like a Netflix normie kind of crew. So
Yeah, for sure.
I was thinking anyone listening to this it might not be their favorite movie, but maybe something I'd recommend to my dad. I don't know.
I don't know. I thought it was fun. I do think like this movie was bought on like whoever pitched this was like Blade meets Collateral, because that's exactly what the movie is.
It really is. Yeah.
I don't know. It's fun. It's a fun kind of adventure party through the night kind of thing with a love story. It's a love story that just happens to have vampires in it.
Yeah.
Let's just get right to spoilers.
All right. What's left?
There's a scene. There's a scene where they go to a restaurant, or like a bar or something, and a Machine Gun Kelly looking dude is there.
He was
intimidating
great, by the
Eddie.
way.
Yeah, he's huge,
big dude. And then
Definitely not Machine Gun Kelly looking at all. by the way.
Blair.
If Machine Gun Kelly was like a surfer,
It was
Yeah.
a tall blonde guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Machine
I don't
Gun
have
Kelly is like a rail though. That guy was like pretty jacked.
I don't know. Sorry, I'm not up on my Machine Gun Kelly.
You should be.
That's such a grandson thing to say.
damn kids.
So, Blair clearly is there to. Is Blair the bad? No, Zoe is clearly there to
Zoe.
kill him. And Zoe goes outside with Benny, and they start hooking up on the couch outside, right? Like when they're
Hot.
supposed to be doing this hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then, like, that was an opportunity. Like, they did this thing where the fight starts breaking out while they're outside, and you see it inside, and then guy gets thrown out, and what's her name? Zoe goes back inside, or Blair, whatever. The other one goes back inside,
Starts kicking
and-
ass.
Yeah, and I was like, I wish that fight hadn't been off screen, or
Right.
obliterated. And like the humor was there, but I wish they like elevated that scene a little bit and drawn it out a little bit more.
Yeah, because I mean, he just had this tender moment with this girl that he's falling for, and he watches her just lay waste to people through the window. But I would have liked to have seen what was going on inside there more, for sure.
I thought it was more though from his POV, and like it was more from like just his perspective. And
Right.
I kind of like that they didn't show a
Then
lot of it.
I would have liked if they'd have like thrown his ass through the window so he could have seen the inside from his perspective.
I don't know. It wasn't. I thought they showed a decent amount. Like you see that guy fly through the glass door, and then some.
That's pretty much it. You see her punch someone like twice.
Dude.
I don't know. I didn't have a problem with that scene. I thought it was cool.
See, that scene to me kind of sums up why
This is
that's not for me.
Tim with everything is just the opposite thing.
By
I
the
don't
way,
know.
That's what I
just kinda
do,
like
man.
that.
That's my
Jason
role
didn't
here.
like the scene because it was too close to home. Because I can imagine that's what the tall one can probably do to a barroom of fucking idiots while he runs for the car like a.
That's literally what happens. I'm like, you hold him off. I'll get the car.
Dave goes flying into the pool.
I've got the car, honey. I've got the car.
It's funny because it's probably true.
But yeah, like I wanted to see the fight. I don't understand why they're like making out on the couch when she's supposed to be killing this dude. Like, I don't know. Just to me, I just would have liked to see like something hardcore there. Like that the blonde guy who they went there to kill was so good. Like his up and down of his mood. Like he was just like this aloof, whatever, and then he was super serious a second later. And I thought you could have done something really creepy with that. But that's not what this movie is. It's
That's
just
a
what I
dangerous
want.
guy. Yeah, that's if you remake this as something darker, he gets a bigger role. And
Exactly.
speaking of not seeing Mayhem, not being able to see how Megan Fox dies, I was like, oh
Yeah,
sucks.
that was one thing. It was like they were just there, and then they weren't, and then you saw like the blood.
I don't know. I
would've-
think I kind of like that.
I would have liked to see what happened with that. Okay,
Yes,
Grandpa.
for sure.
They definitely just brought in some eye candy for a day of shooting.
Oh yeah, it was like
crazy.
we have a little bit of extra room in the budget. Let's see if we. I feel like they got them to say yes to this, and then wrote like that whole part because like that was kind of completely unnecessary to the story. Like you
I
didn't even
figured
need
maybe
that.
they were out drinking and just stumbled onto the set. Put this clothes on. We got them right
They
now.
said if you could keep the
They-
outfit.
Yeah,
They weren't even paid for it. They just happened to.
Machine
there.
Gun Kelly will love that outfit, Megan.
I will say I got a kick out of the ending, the end scene with when he went to back the car up the driveway. I said something's up with him backing out of that driveway instead of turning the car around.
Right.
But I got a kick out of that.
Mm.
final
Oh, when
scene.
he crashes it through the window.
Yeah.
I didn't like the CGI. I thought that was
The
not
budget definitely
good.
showed there.
But I like the end, like after that with like the
His
two
classmates.
the classmates who like basically shit on him the entire movie.
Yeah.
Or in the one scene.
Two scenes, right? It was like the club.
I remember the
then-
club.
And,
that's all I
in
remember.
class.
And the
Yeah,
class.
twice.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's a great example of how this could have been like, I don't want to say a longer movie, but like a mini series or something.
I don't think. Yeah, I think it would have been cool if they built the world up a little bit more and made it like a mini series, like Midnight Mass, like 6 episodes.
Each episode's them killing one of the vampire bosses.
Yeah.
As long
There
as
you
you see
go.
it.
Yes, we need to see it.
Yeah, sure.
But whatever. It was a good hour and 40 minutes for me.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't waste my time.
Jason's just quiet.
I said this is it's not for me. But I
I'm
don't
not
think
gonna
anybody
say
should listen to
anything.
what I say about it. Like this movie is clearly not made for me.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not made for any of us. But for some reason, I liked it. But I like a
I'm-
good love story.
I'm like right in the middle. I have issues with it, but I didn't feel like I wasted my time, and
So
I don't think
Rock-
I'll ever watch it again. But like, I don't know, it was
Yeah, I
entertaining.
was entertained. I got my money's worth.
Yeah.
Well, definitely could have gotten more money's worth, but they killed them very quickly.
Yeah.
Megan
All
Fox
right.
definitely got her money's worth. I don't know if
Yeah.
the movie got its money's worth out of her.
Well, listen, we're doing a main feature on it because Megan Fox is in this movie. So
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I know.
Actually.
Fooled us. Haha.
Did not watch the trailer and watched this solely on the recommendation that it was a Megan Fox vampire movie from
That's
Jack.
what I did too.
That was my problem. That didn't help.
But as soon as anytime you see the words "and" and "with" before an actor's or actress's name,
Yeah.
just know that they're not in it for that long at all.
Nope.
So
don't get
that
attached.
that should have been a clue number one for you guys.
Yeah, but there's always hope.
I mean, that
You
was
just gotta hope.
short. That wasn't like, oh, she's a bit character. That was like, she's in it for a fart. and she's
the
gone.
way that you learned that Megan Fox did this though wasn't watching the credits at the beginning of the movie. It was bloody disgusting 6 months ago. Going, there's going to be a Megan Fox vampire
Yeah.
movie.
And meanwhile, she's like the queen of all of it.
Yeah,
And they
but
dispatched the queen off screen
Boom.
Yeah.
quickly.
that is true. Like they were like the head bosses. Like they were like up at the top, and then so Theon Greyjoy was also a boss, and he killed both of them.
But he's a lower boss. That's why they called him Reek.
He's never going to live that shit down.
No,
No, totally not. He
Okay.
should make a cologne.
oh my god.
Reek. From the Game of Thrones cologne collection.
Next week, our main feature will be The Night House with Rebecca Hall.
Yes, I want to watch this movie so badly.
I heard she's only in it for 3 minutes. We should do bait and switch movies. We should have a special of like bait and switch movies. That would be actually kind of funny.
I already have that. It's called So Bad It's Good. I drink a lot.
Very true. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this next one.
Yeah, I'm excited. I heard nothing but good things. So, which
I
now
like-
my expectations are pretty high. So I'm pretty sure I'll hate it.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you watch a lot
That's
of
fair.
other good stuff this week because it is Halloween week. So I hope everybody has a good Halloween.
Yes.
Come to my
Happy
house. I'll be
Halloween.
wearing that Bigfoot costume.
Have you
I
watched
wanna see
that thing
pictures.
yet?
I hope it smells great.
Speaking of reek.
Enjoy the syphilis you get from it.
No, I cleaned that thing all out. I already wore it once before. Tim was there. He watched
Yeah.
me work the crowd.
I did. That was hilarious. That was before or after you signed my book
That was before
to you.
I signed your book to
From
myself
me.
and then got in the car to drive for an hour and a half. That was definitely one of my smarter decisions. Jesus, don't do as I do, kids. Do what I
No.
say.
Don't do anything he does ever.
Except read Mammoth Island. Read Mammoth Island.
Play
Everything
Bad
else
Ben.
exists. Play Bad Ben.
All right. Let's put this one in the books. See you guys next week.
Later.
Deuces.
Bye, Z's.